Hi friends, if you weren't able to join our Zoom math lesson today, we talked about shapes. We talked about all different things about shapes, but mostly we talked about how we can describe shapes. And when you're describing shapes, you can use words like curvy, straight, sides, corners, flat, edges. All of these words you can use. Wide, narrow, skinny, fat, big, small. There are lots of words that you can use to describe shapes. Let's talk about some shapes. Take a look at this shape. This shape has two straight sides and one curvy side. It's got 2 points. Lots of different things about it. Let's look at this one. This one has 2 short straight sides or lines and 2 curvy lines. One is kind of small and one is bigger. Let's take a look at this shape. This shape we call a rectangle because it has 2 short sides and 2 long sides. Sometimes we see a rectangle like this. Sometimes we might see a rectangle like this. A rectangle that looks like this could be like a door. A rectangle that looks like this could be a long window. Let's look at another shape. Let's look at this shape. This shape we call a square. A square has 4 sides and 4 corners. But something special about a square is all the sides are equal or the same size. A rectangle has 4 sides and 4 corners, but the sides are not equal or the same size. Let's look at this shape. This shape has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. It's a hexagon. A hexagon has 6 sides, 6 points or corners. Let's look at this shape. We call this a circle. Circle has no sides, no corners. It's just one curvy line, no straight lines. Let's look at this one. This we call a trapezoid. A trapezoid has 4 sides, like a square and a rectangle. But all the sides are not the same. It's got a long side down here, a short straight side here, and then straight sides on each of the sides. But they don't go up and down, they go diagonal. How could we describe this shape? We could say it has 4 corners or points. It has 4 sides, but it's not a rectangle, and it's not a square. It's a rhombus. We also call it a diamond. It could be like this way, or this way, or this way. This one has no straight sides, no corners. It has one curvy line, but it's kind of longer than a circle. And so we call it an oval. You might see it like this. Then it kind of looks like a 0. Or you might see it like this. Let's talk about this shape. This shape we call triangle because it has 3 sides. All of the sides are straight. There's no curvy lines. And there's 3 corners. Sometimes we call corners vertices. 3 vertices. This is also a triangle, but it looks very different. It does not have all the same size lines. Some lines are long and some are short, but it still has 3 lines and 3 corners. So it's a triangle. There's another triangle. It looks very different, but it still has 3 corners, 3 sides. Let's look at another triangle. This one. Wow, we have 4 triangles that all look very different. The same about them is that they all have 3 sides and 3 corners. What's different about them is the direction that they're facing. What's also different is the length of their sides. It's really fun to explore shapes. When you explore shapes, use those describing words that we talked about. Straight lines, curvy lines, short lines, long lines. Maybe it's wide, maybe it's narrow. These are kind of skinny and narrow. These are wider. You can use fancy words like vertices and corners. Try that out when you're describing shapes. Today for math, you're also going to work on your dot to dot. I bet you can tell what kind of animal it is because it has whiskers. Start at 1, and you're going to follow your dot to dot numbers all the way to, I think, 38. Have fun connecting your dots.